Yo, welcome back to the live stream. It's your boy Tokyo Stoner. Today we're in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it's a good day. Look, we finally hit manuscripts obtained 56 out of 56. That means we got all the weapon points available, and we're going to be taking all of Cloud's weapons to max level. So yeah, let's get into it. Buster Sword's my favorite. Let's do that one first. While we're doing this, it's going to be a bit of a guide as well, I guess. I'll be talking about the different abilities and which ones I would prioritize at lower levels and etc, etc. So anyway, let's get into it. All right. Oh, before we go, I thought this would be a cool thing to check out. Let's have a look at these weapons at base level. So something I noticed, Hard Edge has 57 attack, yeah? That's like by far the best. Do you get me at that point? So it's got a large attack over everyone else. And then also Mithril Saber has 72 magic. Well, look, when you compare it to the others, that's huge. That's almost twice as much magic in most cases, right? And also the Twin Stinger is cool at base level. Twin Stinger and Mithril Saber both come with 4 slots. And the Twin Stinger has balance. So you get 46. Another thing to note is that the Nail Bat also comes with balance. But the Twin Stinger has more damage at base level, right? Alright, cool. Let's get into it. Buster Sword. Now, this is my favorite weapon in the game. So here we go. Here, at early level, I'd prioritize max HP plus 100 and attack power plus 5. A magic attack power is definitely good, especially if you lean on magic, but magic's not a core part of my playstyle like that. So yeah, attack power, max HP, and at some point I'd get that Punisher mode. But I wouldn't prioritize it. But for the sake of the guide, we're going to get everything. Nice. Here, attack power plus 16. I mean, that's a massive buff. So I'd get that. I'd get the max HP plus 200. Max MP plus 10. And I'd get all the new materia slots. And the only time I don't buy materia slots is if I want to save SP for other passives, and basically, so say for example I might buy 6 materia slots, but I won't pay to connect them, for example. So I'll try and show you here. So max HP plus 200, I'd buy that. Attack power, I'd buy that straight away. We'll buy magic just because of the video, but I wouldn't prioritize it. Max MP plus 10, I'd buy that straight away. Now look here, new materia slot, additional, always buy those. Additional, always buy those. Now here, look, new materia slot connected. So I don't know if you noticed, but if you see in the top left of the screen, there's 4 materia slots. As I was buying those additionals, materia slots were being added to the weapon, right? As I go to this one, it changes it to a connected one, which means that you can use combinations like elemental or magnify in those slots, right? Sometimes you need that, sometimes you don't. So depending on if you're limited for points and stuff like that, sometimes you don't necessarily need to go and buy those connected materia slots. So pick and choose when you need them. Alright, in this core 4, I'd go with attack power, yep, max HP, max MP, new materia slot, and limit break damage. So you can see something that I've noticed, and I mean we'll check it, we'll find out now as we're upgrading, but I'm pretty sure that Buster Sword potentially has the most HP boost out of all the weapons. It makes Cloud very tanky. Alright, cool. And again, like I would say, there's some great stats here, and magic attack power is great, but I'd only buy it if I was running Cloud on a magic build. Alright, here I'd go again, attack power. I'd prioritize defense, magic defense, max HP, and a new materia slot as long as it wasn't connected, unless my build required an extra connected slot. But most of the time your physical damage, your basic attacks are so vital, and they're like your most constant form of damage a lot of the time. So yeah, I always want my attack power buffed basically on all my characters. The only character where I'd go for magic over physical is Aerith. Oh, let's look at this table. Yeah, so again here we'd go for attack power, max HP, max MP. Any weapon that has max MP, if you're planning to play hard mode or anything like that, or take on Pride and Joy, any weapon that has a max MP boost, make sure you go for that. Those are one of the best buffs you can give yourself. Very significant, max MP plus. MP regeneration is also one of the best stats, in my opinion. This 10% boost is not so significant, but some weapons go as far as giving you a 50% MP regeneration boost, so keep an eye out for those. Alright, let's get these stats. Nice. Alright, cool. First core, I'd go with, to be honest, I'd buy everything here, and if I was short on points, I'd just hold off on the magic attack power. So I'd go attack power, defense, magic defense. You with me? And again, like I said, if I was running a magic build, then I'd probably prioritize that magic attack power a bit more. Cool. So let's just check all the cores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. Cool. And it ends with 91 attack, 91 magic, 11 defense, and 11 magic. So, 11 magic defense, sorry. So that's pretty cool. It's a very, very balanced weapon. Hey, Prezi, how you doing, man? Good luck with the grind, bro. I'm just here doing weapon guides, and we're taking all of the weapons to max level. So yeah, we just did Buster Sword, and it looks very balanced. And again, 91, when you consider it to things like the hard age, which starts at 57, 91 might not sound so high. But 91 with the 91 balance, and when you consider the amount of HP that this weapon gives your character, Buster Sword's very well balanced, tanky weapon, also quite beginner friendly. Alright, let's get into the Iron Blade. Let's see where this weapon goes. Oh, you're letting your brother use the PS4? Man, that's rough. I get you. Alright, let's get into this sphere grid. So on the first core, what would I go with? Max HP, definitely. Physical damage reduction 10% when guarding, that's good. The Punisher mode counter damage is also pretty good. I wouldn't necessarily prioritize it first up because you don't use it all the time, but that's very good. And defense +5 is very good. So here I would prioritize max HP and defense. Like I said, counter damage is pretty good. Make sure to, this is off the tangent of what this guide is about. But if you're not using the Punisher mode counter against human enemies and melee enemies, make sure you learn how to use it. You have to be in Punisher mode, and then you hold R1 to block, and you counter all melee attacks. Also, there's a powerful ability called Counter Strike, which is an even stronger form of counter. So make sure you're checking those abilities out. Also, these physical damage reduction when guarding, these work very well when you pair them with your steadfast block materia, right? So if you've been watching my materia guides and you're using your steadfast block, this stacks with it, I'm pretty sure, and makes you take even less damage. Alright, here I'd go for attack power. Iron Blade is more of a magic focused weapon than the Buster Sword, right? You can see even its base stats. It's got 31 magic, 23 attack. So this is less balanced. So here I would go for magic attack power, because it's obviously the sword is leaning towards it. It wants you to go that way. So I'd go attack, magic attack. I'd probably take some elemental damage boost. I'd definitely get reprieve. Reprieve is OP. We'll get into that in a minute. And the materia slots. So let's go. Yeah, materia slot. Let's get that one I just missed. Attack power. Connected slots. Again, like I said, when you're short. Hey, look, reprieve. Avoid incapacitation once per battle. Does not work against instant death attacks or when HP is at 1. So reprieve, you only get it late in the game. I think it's like a level 5 or a level 6 skill as far as weapon levels go. So it's an end game skill, but I'm pretty sure every character has a weapon that has reprieve. And yeah, it's really OP. If you combine this with the superstar belt or the revival earrings, you can basically come back from death twice in a fight. So, you know, your first death, the revival earrings will bring you back. The second death, reprieve will bring you back. So it's really OP. Like it says there, it doesn't protect against instant death, so the Tom Breeze can still one-shot you, and it doesn't work when your HP is at 1. So if you survive with Reprieve, your HP will be at 1. So if you get a hit before you're able to heal yourself or revive your teammate or do something to sort yourself out, then you'll die. So it is not a get out of jail free card, but it brings you back to life, and if you can play well enough, it can get you back in the fight. So Reprieve is one of the best skills to buy for weapons, especially endgame. Elemental damage. If you know how your spell materials work with elemental, then just put your elemental materials with, put like a fire with your elemental in your weapon. It's going to give you a damage buff. Nice. Alright, here again you can see it's got attack power, but it's also got a lot of magic attack. And also another thing to note, because the Iron Blade, when you get it, I mean in your first playthrough, for me at least it was this way, the Iron Blade for most part was the most practical weapon, because it gave you access to the most materia slots the earliest on, right? Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, it gave you access to the majority of the materia slots early on, and it's not until sort of core 5 and 6 that most of your other weapons open up to becoming 6 slots. So Iron Blade is definitely worth using, even if it's not your favorite or you don't intend to use it in the end game. There are a lot of points in your first playthrough, especially on standard, not so much hard, I'm talking standard now, where the Iron Blade can be pretty useful. So here, what would I go with? Sorry, I'd go with attack power, defense, trade-off, materia slot. And then, like I said, if I was working on a mage build, probably more magic attack. Like, get both. If I was playing my normal build, I might just buy one, you know? Yeah, recover MP when receiving significant damage. All of those kind of passives are, in my opinion, really good. I can't promise you how much MP you get back when you're receiving that damage, but I like the idea of receiving MP, so yeah, nice. And also defense and magic defense. I mean, I haven't tested the numbers, but defense and magic defense, the way barrier works in this game, it makes me think that, and also some of the stuff I've seen, the amount of damage reduction when I change armor, makes me think that defense could be more beneficial than more HP in some instances. So don't underestimate defense and magic defense. Make sure you're defending your characters and building up their stats in a balanced way. Here I'd go with attack power, max HP, the limit break and self-healing with low HP. I mean, self-healing with low HP is pretty good, to be honest, but typically I don't choose passives that require set situations. So I mean, the ones while guarding, I don't mind, but I'm not especially the ones of the passives that only work when you're at high HP, because it's not so often that you're at high HP. Do you get what I mean? And also, yeah, like I'm saying, low HP. So I would prioritize passives that are always going to be active over these passives that only activate in certain situations. All right, yeah, again, look, there you see passives that only activate with high HP. So here I just go attack power, magic attack power, and I'd skip out on the last two until I had more points or enough to get it to max level. Nice. All right. Cool. So you can see it's got less physical attack than the Buster Sword, but slightly more magic attack. It has no magic defense, but slightly more physical defense. It's pretty good. Oh, before we go any further, I'll mention the abilities while we're on them. Make sure you're learning your abilities. Focus Thrust. This is one of the best abilities in the game. It does massive stagger damage to enemies, especially when they're pressured. Once the enemy is staggered, you don't really want to use this ability because it doesn't do massive damage. It does massive stagger. So the idea is you use this to get the boss or whatever enemy is staggered, and then you'd use an ability from a different weapon to deal massive damage or cast your magic spells. With Iron Blade, this triple slash ability is fantastic and super fun. It's more fun than it is practical, but I always have it on cloud. I think it's great. If there's multiple enemies in the room, you can use one ATB charge to slash up to 3 of them. And I mean, in the Hell House boss fight on hard mode, I basically exclusively use this move to get rid of the Tonberries. So yeah, it's a great move and lots of fun. All right, on with it. Nail bat. Now this weapon's pretty cool. It starts with 0 MP, I mean 0 materia slots. In the original game, it has 0 materia slots the entire way through. You can see it's got 30 attack, 30 magic, so it's perfectly balanced, but slightly weaker than some of the other balanced weapons. Anyway, let's get into it. Here I'd prioritize the max HP buffs. I'd get the critical hit damage, critical hit rate, and the luck. Now, this weapon, from what I've seen of it, this is a crit-based weapon. So the entire basis of this weapon, if you were going to incorporate it into your build, is that it's for Cloud to be dealing maximum crit damage. Right? Nice. Next circle. So here, look, max HP, I'll get that. Reprieve, we've already gone over that. Reprieve, I'll get that. Limit break damage, 5% boost, I'll get that. And since this weapon has no materia slots, I'd get that as well. So this core, which core is it? Core 4. This is an amazing core for this weapon, and I'd probably buy every single one of these passives if I was going to be using the nail bat as my main weapon. Nice. Cool. Alright, sphere 1. I take the attack damage 5% boost. The materia slots. That critical hit rate with low HP is good. But again, like I said, because it's 50%, which is a massive increase, right? But again, like if I'm at low HP, rather than attacking the enemy, I'm probably going to be focusing on healing. So I think this critical hit rate, it only works if you're doing like a critical build. I don't know if you're familiar with Dark Souls or Bloodborne or anything like that, Neo, but if you're doing like a low HP crit based build to get maximum damage, this would be, you know, really powerful. 50% crit rate increase, that's massive. But it's up to you if you want to make that your playstyle. Alright, sphere 3. Max HP as usual, I'll go with that. Critical hit damage, 25% boost. See, I told you this is a crit focused weapon. I'd go with that. And the materia slots. And you know, if I didn't have the 6 already, like I said, combinations are optional. Their combinations are fully based on you and your playstyle and what you require for your build. And the low HP ones, I'd get them eventually. But like I said, I would focus initially max HP, critical hit damage boost, and materia slots. Again, the low HP ones, the passive that I like the most, which activates with low HP, are ones like increased physical damage, increased magic damage, because those are really practical. You know, if you're in low HP, most of the time you just don't want to die. So anything that makes you more tanky in those situations, those are the kind of passives I would pick up. Like here, physical defense plus 10 with low HP, magic defense plus 10 with low HP. I actually think those are pretty good stats. So, you know, I think they're worth getting. Max HP is excellent. Debuff resistance I wouldn't get because I might be missing something, but the way I see it is that debuff resistance is only going to build up how quickly you get out of the debuff state. My playstyle is more about either avoiding debuff states completely or using spells to remove them once they're there. So I'd focus on max HP plus 200 instead. Physical defense, magic defense with low HP. Weapon ability, critical hit rate, 10% boost. That's a top tier one. That's probably the best one here. And then crippling damage, 10% boost. In fact, this skill tree is also pretty good. I mean, this weapon has got some excellent passives here. And what you might want to notice is that we're almost finished fully upgrading this weapon, and its attack and magic damage have stayed exactly the same, right? And the thing that's been increasing is the crit rate. So look, every sphere, I'm pretty sure, or everyone except for this one, which has got the reprieve, they've all got critical hit rate and critical damage rate increases, right? So the whole weapon is focused around dealing critical damage. That's why its attack points are so low, even at max level, right? Its ability, Disorder, I'm not the biggest fan of this ability, but it is pretty good. You use it to do, like, you can see the video there. He does like a little swinging attack, and basically it shifts your stance. So if you're in Operator stance and you trigger this ability, you'll end up in Punisher. If you're in Punisher and trigger it, you'll end up in Operator. But for me, I find it a bit confusing because I find it switches me out of the stance you know, in the heat of the battle, and then I realize, oh no, I'm in operator. Oh, I want to get back to Punisher. So I'm not the greatest fan of this ability, but it's cool, and I could imagine some really fun play styles being worked around it. All right, Hard Edge. Now this is one of, in my opinion, one of Cloud's best weapons in the game. In most situations, it's going to be the most practical. It's got his highest attack stat. It has a very low magic damage stat, but its physical attack is so high that it more than makes up for it. So let's get into it. Right. So yeah, attack power, and this magic attack power and buff duration I would ignore, because buff duration 10% boost, I wouldn't focus on that in the beginning. And magic attack power +4, again, this weapon is not focused on doing magic damage, it's focused on doing physical damage. So rather than putting points into magic attack on this weapon, I would rather focus another weapon built all around magic damage, and if I needed to use magic, I'd use that. In this scenario, if I was ever using the Hard Edge, I'd be using it in situations where I need maximum physical damage, so I wouldn't be wasting turns on spells I'd be crushing with abilities. Anyway, here I prioritize attack power +12, I'd buy both of them, no questions asked. Weapon ability critical hit rate 10% boost straight away, and then yeah, extra materia slots. Like I said, I would rather buy, if I had to choose between a connected materia slot and getting those 2 attack power +12s, I would buy the 2 attack power +12s, and I would not connect the slots. Right? No way. Alright, next sphere. I'd buy all 3 attack powers. I'd get the limit break damage 5% boost, and I'd probably get Bloodsucker. Bloodsucker is not good for bosses, but it's good for dungeons. You get a little bit of HP recover when enemies are defeated, so I'd get that for sure. So yeah, attack power, limit break damage, Bloodsucker, materia slots. Nice, we're getting there. Alright, attack power and magic attack power, that's all that's left. Cool. Alright, what's the next circle? Again, here I'd buy all the attack powers, and I get Stagger Siphon. So again, you can see all of the weapons. Look, Stagger Siphon, recover HP when dealing damage with unique abilities to a staggered enemy. So maybe you've been fighting a boss, your HP's low, you just got it staggered, and you've got the choice: do I burn these ATB charges on heals, or do I damage the enemy? You can now damage the enemy and recover HP from lifesteal. So you'll probably still have to heal afterwards, but it will take the edge off. So Stagger Siphon's excellent. And yeah, like I said, focus the attack power. And what I was about to say before I got into that segue was just, you can see that all of the weapons are viable. They're just built with specific play styles and builds in mind. So you can use any weapon you want, and it's just about understanding how the weapon works and building materia sets for it, you know? Alright, core 1, attack damage 5% boost. Yep. Aerial attack damage, I never focused that because it's so rare that you do aerial attacks, and if I was going to do an aerial attack, I'd rather use Barret or Aeris. So yeah, or cast a magic spell. I mean, I'd much rather buy magic damage boost than aerial attack damage. You with me? Because if something's in the air and I'm Cloud, I'm going to cast the spell. I'm not going to be fighting it in the air because it's silly. Punisher mode, strong attack damage. I don't prioritize that because I find the 5% boost to be so low, because you're not so often you're not always in Punisher, so it doesn't activate that much. But yeah, you can get it if you like. I would much rather prioritize here crippling damage boost. So here I'd get attack damage and crippling damage. Those would be the 2 that I'd prioritize. Let's go. Nice. Nice. Alright, cool. Next sphere. Is that all the spheres? Alright, Hard Edge got done. So now look, we're going to take a look at this one quickly before we move on. Hard Edge has the highest attack stat for Cloud. This is Cloud's hardest hitting weapon when it comes to physical attacks. 137, right? Massive. So look, you can see compared to the others that we've done so far, Buster's got a 91, Iron Blade has 77, Nailbat has 30, Hard Edge has 137 physical damage. So yeah, with the Nailbat, you're going to be generating a lot of crit, but this is going to be dealing consistent, sustained, heavy damage, so long as you're focused down on using the sword and using your abilities rather than casting spells. So yeah, if you're using an attack heavy playstyle like on hard mode where you have to conserve MP, this is probably one of the most practical weapons for Cloud because of the insane attack stat. Oh, also its ability, Infinity's End. That's a very OP ability. You can see the animation there in the video. It has a long wind up. I'm not probably about 2 to 3 seconds wind up. So if you're facing one of those bosses whose stagger bar runs down very quickly, you don't want to trigger this. You're better off triggering Braver or Triple Slash. But if you do have the time to use it, you know you've got the window of opportunity. The stagger bar is going slowly and you got 2 bars set. Infinity's End deals massive damage. It's real flashy. It's a joy to see. It's a joy to pull off in the match. And yeah, one of my favorite abilities with Cloud. So I recommend learning that. All right. Mithril Saber. Now, if I'm right, this is going to be basically Cloud's mage focused weapon. So if you were doing a mage build with Cloud where you were focusing on magic damage, that's when you'd use the Mithril Saber. You get it later in the game. You can see from base level, it's got 4 materia slots, which the only ones to do that are the Mithril Saber and the Twin Stinger. Every other weapon has either 0, 2, or 3, right? So to start with 4 slots is pretty OP already. And you can see that massive magic. To put in perspective, at max level, Buster's got a 91, Iron Blade's got 105, 30 on Nailback, 46 on Hard Edge. Mithril Saber at level 0 starts with a magic attack stat of 72. So if you're in a scenario where your physical attacks are not going to work and Cloud's forced to use magic, this is a good choice. Alright, let's get into it. Let's see what options they give us. So here I'd prioritize magic attack power, max MP, and then probably attack power, right? Just to give it a little kick, because its attack power is incredibly low. So your physical attacks and your abilities are going to be dealing minimal damage in comparison to what you might be used to, especially if you're switching to something like a Hard Edge. I mean, you could counteract that by doing an elemental combination, like a fire elemental or something like that, to supplement, to give you a little extra damage. But obviously the point of this weapon is to be casting spells, right? Here I'd go with the magic attack powers. Now look, this is one of the best abilities in the game, the best passives. Attack spells, MP cost reduction 20%. Yeah, if you're playing hard mode or any of the end game challenges, this ability is going to make a massive difference, because the maximum amount of MP you can get on a character, I believe, is 200, like just over 200, and you can get that on Aerith, right? And the attack spells cost over 20, I believe, to cast, like the level 3 attack spells. So if you count that up, you've only got 10 casts in a fight. And if you're going to be casting also revives, maybe heals, or anything like that, any other spell, haste, barrier, for example, they're all costing as well, right, and eating into your stock. So attack spells MP cost reduction, I can't stress it enough. It's one of the best in the game, specifically for bosses that require a lot of magic, for example Hell House, stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, magic attack power, attack spells, MP cost reduction, and new materia slots. That's what I'd prioritize here. Alright, where are they? There we go. And again, keep in mind, like this one here, connected, yeah? So maybe I hold on for a minute, I might be able to get another slot that's additional. So always pay attention if the slots that you're buying are connected or additional, and if you really want another connected slot. Here again, you can see this sword's OP. Another one of the best passives in the game, MP regeneration 50% boost. So now in battle, Cloud's MP will regenerate twice as fast once we buy that, yeah? The MP regeneration is very slow in this game, so that 50% boost is going to make a massive difference to just keeping you alive, especially in the hard mode, some of the long dungeons and some of the long boss fights. Magic attack power plus 10, I'd buy that 3 times. I'd probably get that attack power plus 8, because 8 is quite a significant boost. Yeah, and I think between the magic defense and the new materia slots, it's optional. It would depend more on your current situation, if you require the combination slots or not. and if you require the defense or not. You know, if you feel too squishy, get the defense. If you need more experimentation, get the slots. But definitely pick up this magic attack power, because again, it's like the hard edge. If you can see that the weapon is built around a specific type of damage, just spec it towards that damage. Make it excellent at what it's meant to be excellent at. You know, don't spread your stats around the place and now the weapon's not doing what it's meant to do, if you get what I mean. Look at what the weapon's asking you and then give it what it needs. Right. Magic 20% boost with full MP. No, because you're not often at full MP. I'd get trade-off and elemental materia damage boost. Then probably debuff, and then the other two at the end, you know, the full MP, high HP, because they're not going to activate very often. Let's just have a look at trade-off quickly. Receive MP when receiving significant damage. Excellent. So, yeah, I'd get the passive, and I'd get this elemental materia damage. I think those two are the best ones here. The debuff resistance pretty good considering what else is here, but yeah, those two, like I said, to recap, elemental damage and trade-off. Those are the best ones there in my opinion. Right, Mithril Saber's maxed out. Let's take a look at it. So look, you can see 138 on the magical damage. That's insane. Look, that's like the hard edge. 137 on the physical. So Mithril Saber is essentially the counterpart to the hard edge, right? So, I mean, what you might want to do is have a balanced place. If you use magic, get the Iron Blade. I don't use much magic, and I really like having the Buster Sword for the nostalgia. So I'd use the Buster Sword most of the time. If I needed extra physical damage, I'd throw on the hard edge. And if I needed extra magic damage, I'd throw on the Mithril Saber. So I'd say these two are, as you can see, two of the best weapons in the game if you respect what they do and how they work. All right, let's get into the last weapon, the Twin Stinger. Let's go. Oh, wait, before we go forward onto this one, let me go back 1 second. We're going to take a look at the ability. Blade Burst. I'm not a massive fan of Blade Burst. I won't pretend I am. It's a cool ability. Cloud spins around and sends energy at the enemies. I've used it a few times, but I've not found the energy to be ultra damaging. It might be I haven't tested it enough, so don't take my word for it. Feel free to test the ability for yourself and find out how practical it is for you. But yeah, for me, it's not a top tier. It's not been, you know, one that I've gone to all the time. But by all means, test it out. All right, Twin Stinger. Right, and you can see it's got 46 magic damage, 46 physical damage at start. Not bad, pretty good. It's balanced, well, very well balanced. And I think it's the strongest of the balanced weapons at level 1. So yeah, at start point, this is the most well balanced weapon. You get 4 connected slots, and you get 46. So let's see what kind of passives it has. Fire damage, ice damage, lightning, and wind. They are excellent. I'm not saying they're not excellent, but I'd only buy them if I felt I had everything else that makes the sword work. Because again, like I said, I don't cast so much magic. If you were casting a lot of magic with Cloud, by all means buy them. I'd more get the elemental. Yeah, because I like elemental because it lets you deal magic damage without using MP. So I like elemental materia. Anyway, let's get all of these passives out the way. Nice. All right, next page. Here, with the Twin Stinger, I'd get the magic attack power and the attack power to keep the damage balanced, actually. Elemental defense. No. Magic defense. I'd get the healing spells reduction, and I'd get reprieve. All right, so on core 3, I'd get attack power, magic attack power, reprieve, and then I'd get healing spells, right? I'd prioritize in that order. Not necessarily in that order, because reprieve's probably the best, but that's what I'd be looking for from this skill tree. Just check that. Alright, we just gotta get that magic attack. Nice. Alright, cool. Core 2. Yeah, again, to keep the damage up, I'd get attack power, magic attack power. I'd definitely get that max MP. Where this is obviously a weapon that's got magic potential, magic damage potential, I'd get the MP buff. Physical damage and magic damage reduction when guarding, yeah. MP rejection, regeneration, yeah. core 2 is actually a really good core. I'd probably aim to get everything here. I'd leave the when guarding skills to the end, and yeah, I'd buy all of these stats. These are all excellent passives. Look, max MP, reduction when guarding, that's top tier. MP regen, new materia slots. Look, and they're both additional. They're not connected. They're both additional. So I'd definitely grab them both. Yeah, magic attack. Nice. Nice. All right, next one. Max MP plus 10 twice. I'd buy that twice. No questions asked. Maybe the new materia slot. And these debuffs, the debuff buffs that you saw there, inflicted debuff duration. I mean, they're not the worst passives to have. And this buff duration, they're not the worst passives. They're not the most overpowered, but they're not the worst. So yeah, max MP. I think that's all the spheres there. Nice. So let's see how it ended up. It's got 0 defense, but it's got a 73 on physical, 73 on magic. Neither of those stats are outstanding, let's mind, especially when you compare it to the Buster Sword. But I'm pretty sure it's got some, maybe it's got some interesting abilities. Let's see what it is that makes it stand out from the pack. So you get a lot of damage boost to your magic. I guess this is more like the Buster Sword, but with magic. But I don't see why you'd want to use this rather than the Iron Blade. That's what I'm just trying to check. I guess this is slightly got a bit more magic focused. Max MP. And maybe you get more MP with this one. So that's a way that I could see it being more practical. Alright, cool. And its ability, Counter Stance. Yeah, excellent actually. One of the best abilities in the game, especially against human enemies. Shout out to Sam from the channel. He put us onto this. But yeah, Counter Stance is great. If you're fighting, say, Reno, it works. Sorry, my bad. Reno, it works well against Rufus. Also works against Sephiroth. Works against basically any human enemy in the game. It doesn't work against ranged attacks. Only works against melee. But this is essentially the Punisher Counter Stance, but twice as powerful with a really cool animation. So yeah, I would recommend using Counter Stance. It's OP, and in hard mode against some of the human bosses, it's essentially a must-have. So yeah, before we finish the video, we'll do a quick comparison just to see how they affect Cloud stats. So right now we got the Buster Sword on. I'm pretty sure that gives you a high HP boost. So look, I just want to show you, for example, if we switch to any of the other weapons apart from Nailbat. So look, compared to Twin Stinger, Mithril Saber, and Hard Edge, you get an 800 HP for rolling with the Buster Sword, and it also has 450 more HP than the Iron Blade. Iron Bat has more HP than the Buster, but yeah. So yeah, Buster's lit. I'd say overall this is my favorite. You get the defense, you get the physical attack, the magic attack, magic defense as well, 6 link slots. Focus Thrust, a great ability. It's classic. It's part of the reason why the game blew up in the first place, because it's so iconic. So it's part of my favorite part of playing this game is just seeing the Buster Sword on Cloud's back. So yeah, I recommend using this and then switching out to maybe Hard Edge and Mithril Saber when required. But yeah, Buster Sword all the way. On your first playthrough, like I said, the Iron Blade might be more practical at some points because it has access to materia slots quicker. Let's just equip it and see. So here you get less physical attack, you get stronger magic, you get a big physical defense, you get 13, but you get no magic defense. So you want to supplement your magic defense with your armor possibly. Like I said, Triple Slash is a great ability. Iron Blade is wonderful sword for your first playthrough, especially on standard. It starts to lose its luster once you start to hit end game and hard mode, but still, still a respectable weapon. The Nailbat. Okay, so like you can see, its base damage is very low, 30-30, and you get 0 defense and 0 magical defense, but you do get all of those crazy crit points. So you're able to get mad crit damage. So I recommend, if you're interested in that and you want to play around, try using it. See how much damage you can get out of those crits. See what the critical damage is worth. For all you know, you're hitting 4 9s with it. I might even do a test video just to run it and see how good it is. So yeah, I recommend if you're looking for some fun with the game, you're bored of using your favorite sword and you want to try out some fun, see some wacky stuff, probably try the Nailbat and just see how it goes. The Hard Edge. Now, this is pretty cool. Like I said, this is one of the best weapons in the game for Cloud. You get that extra attack damage. Literally, look at that, 137. That's his highest attack stat out of all of his weapons. Can't recommend it enough. Like I said, you get 0 defense on physical, 0 defense on magic, and also your magical damage is very low. I'm pretty sure this is the lowest magic damage of all the weapons aside from the nail bat, which is a gimmick weapon, right? So yeah, Hard Edge has the lowest amount of magic damage, but 137 on the physical can't be overlooked, especially against those bosses where you're just doing abilities like Focus Thrust. Wonderful, cool. So yeah, in my opinion, Buster Sword's one of the best. Hard Edge is one of the best if you're going for raw physical damage, and Iron Blade is balanced for early game. Mithril Saber, I've only used this once or twice, but this is one of the best weapons in the game and should be respected as such. Obviously Aeris is meant to be your go-to mage, but you do have Cloud in your party almost all the time. So yeah, if you don't have access to Aerith and you want a really powerful magician, then I recommend, you could try giving this to Cloud, get Cloud dealing epic magic damage, and then make Tifa your main physical damage dealer. So I mean, you could build that way, on those missions where you have access to Tifa. So yeah, Mithril Saber, not to be overlooked. Highest magic attack stat out of all of Cloud's weapons. Pretty OP. Twin Stinger. Now we've gone over this. Like I said, it's balanced, but I mean the Buster's already got 91. This is 77-105. I don't get why you'd want to use this 73. If you did want to use it, it would be because there's things in the skill tree that really interest you, right? So or because of its appearance, because it does have quite a stylish appearance, if that's your thing. So yeah, I think we're pretty much done here. I think to recap, I'll say Buster Sword is my favorite and is clearly the most balanced of all the weapons. Iron Blade is good for your first playthrough if you want the extra slots. Hard Edge, the best physical damage on Cloud, and Mithril Saber, the best magic damage on Cloud. All right, nice. I'm glad we went through that. I'll be doing individual breakdowns, like much shorter videos, just looking at each weapon individually at max level and seeing, talking about it, etc., and tips and trips on how to use it. So I hope you found the video useful. Make sure you drop a like, make sure you drop a subscribe, all of that good stuff. Remember, I'm on Twitch, that's Tokyo Stoner. I'm on YouTube, that's Tokyo Stoner, and I'm on YouTube again, that's Light Codes Music. So yeah, check out all of that, like, subscribe, all of that nice shit, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care of yourselves. Peace. Nothing but money on my mind. She say she love me, love is blind. She ride it up and down and then rewind. When we fuck, it gets better every time. I got 2 bad bitches by my side. I tell my ops don't even try. Anytime I lift, I let it fly. Come down and put 2 spirits in the sky. Hit your block and put some spirits on the floor. Niggas know I got a lot, but I need more. Nowadays, all my guap is kept offshore. Stash box, I got a couple keys of raw. Whoa, the weed is Arabian, burning it down like a Sabian. I'm coming down to the stadium, rolling with angels and aliens. There's only real ones in my radius. Everyone here know my alias. I'm coming down to the stadiums, rolling with angels and aliens. She take it straight to the face, laughing all of the way to the bank. Pardon, I take it straight to the face, pull up and parking. Jump out the spaceship, step over your carcass. When you look around, you see killers and carnage. My niggas is Martians, yeah, we live and die by the stardom. Even when we're in the darkness, you know we stay lit regardless. All of your bitches, they love me, all of your hatred is harmless. Only the gods can judge me, yeah. Even when we're in the darkness, you know we stay lit regardless. All of your bitches, they love me, all of your hating is harmless.